The center has been doing exceedingly well, and I think it is the center of its own kind in the world. I must congratulate him on taking, this movement of SDGs forward. This is something I think, which all of us should thank Professor Ahmed for that. About me, I'll say that we take a lot of interest in research on sustainable development. In fact, India has the philosophy which comes in its Vedas that everybody should be happy, everybody should be healthy, everybody should be peaceful. Sarve bhavanti sukhnaha, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyanti ma kashid dukbhag bhavet. India believes in one world, and therefore I think this movement which Professor Ahmed has started, with UN has started, is very, very crucial. I have some personal experience of that. I was involved in MDGs, which we did with Kofi Annan, and then certainly we are also involved in the implementation of SDGs in India. And I'm very happy to tell that Times of India Higher Education Directory has just been released last week, and they put the Indian universities at the top in the implementation of the sustainable development goals. So all of us know that we started with Millennium Development Goals, and there we had only 8 goals: eradication of poverty, achievement of universal primary education, gender equality, then reducing child mortality, then improving maternal health, combating HV and AIDS, ensure environmental sustainability, global partnership for development. Now these became 17. When it comes to SDG, I had the opportunity to go to New York also and discuss this in their office. Now it has become, now have 17 goals. And we see that these 17 goals are, I've just put in the slide. Can we go to next slide? And we see that we can divide this 17 goals into 5 parts. There are goals which are related to universal goals, we can call them. They belong to people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership. Sustainable development goals relate to people, prosperity, peace, planet, and partnership. Then we have the people-related goals. They relate to no poverty, zero hunger, good health, quality education, gender, clean water, and affordable and clean energy. Then we have 5 prosperity goals, that people should also be prosperous, and they lead to good jobs, industry innovation, reduce inequalities, sustainable cities, and responsible consumption. So we have the planet goals, and these planet goals, they relate to climate action, then life below water and life on land. And then finally, we have the 16th and 17th, goal. And most important is foster peaceful, just and inclusive societies. In India, we have built up relationships, and we find that all these goals are closely interconnected. And keeping that in mind, Government of India is in touch with all the state governments and also the districts. And at the district level, at the provincial level, and at the federal level, these goals have been integrated. This has been done by mapping the requirements, asking the nodal ministries to implement them. Then we have a body known as Niti Aayog, and that Niti Aayog has been given the task of implementing and monitoring the progress on the front of SDGs. And this all is discussed from time to time in every session in the parliament and also in the state legislatures of the 29 states of India. And what has happened is, what we find is that we have been progressing on these goals, but we have to go a very long way. And the average performance points out that we have been able to reach somewhere between 55 to 60%. 55 to 60%. But there are some states within the country which have done admirably well. They are not very big states like Himachal Pradesh, Kerala, Tamil Nadu. They have done very well. But these very big states like UP, Bihar, these states, they are lagging behind. Union territories are also doing extremely well. overall performance of India can be seen in this map, and we find that there are some states like southern states and like the states, which are in the northeast, they have done extremely well. Then there are states you find in the yellow, you find, I think these are the states which are the middling states, and then there are states in the red which have to go a very long way. So our areas of concern are many. Zero hunger, I think, is the first thing. We have been able to provide food to about 100 crore people, I think 1 billion people. But despite that, the question is not of satisfying the hunger, but can we provide quality food to people? That's a very big issue. Good health and well-being is another issue, though we have very successfully we have combated with COVID, but still I think we have to go a very long way in ensuring that people in our country, they have good health at the level when they are just coming up as young people. Then people know who are the working, who make the working population, and also those people who are not now who are out of education. Equality has to go a very long way in the field of corporate sector. Sustainable cities and communities are coming up in India, but there also we have to do much. Our climate action is good. We have been doing very well on that, but then where we have industry located, those states and those locations, they suffer, I think, very badly. Now we can take the case of Delhi itself. Delhi is now having a very bad situation. The climate barometer has gone above 400 there, and also I think our nearby countries have also been suffering from that. Funding is very, very important. We thought that SDG implementation will give a huge funding by developed countries, but we see that South and North, they are going poles apart. The kind of promises with northern countries or the North made to the southern countries has not been fulfilled the way I think it should have been done. And very paltry sum has been contributed by countries from North to help South, I think, in coming up and bracing up, I think, with these goals. Then ESG engagement is another very, very important thing. Feeling of oneness, I think, this is again a cause of concern. India is a huge country. We have 1.4 billion people. We have different languages. We have different castes. We have different kind of food habits. We are coming closer, I think. It will take some more time for India to become a real, one country in the true sense of the term. So India's emergence and sustenance as a leading economic power depends on meeting some of the more basic health and social determinants of health-related SDGs immediately and equitably. In all, I think what I can say is that India is very concerned about the implementation of SDGs. The position is being monitored, on month-to-month basis at all the levels. People are being trained on that. Corrective measures are being taken, but still we have to go a long way. We have achieved, I think, if you go by achievements, our achievements are about 50 to 55% of the targets that we had set up. So we have to speed up, I think, to do more work on that. But this can happen, I think, very quickly if northern part of the world, it helps, I think, the southern part of the world, more specifically India being a big country and not being that resourceful as the Western world and the Northern world is. With that kind of finance coming to India, India can do a lot. I'll be very happy to answer questions if there are any.